Welcome to this summer siesta practice on this hot day in July. Of course, you can practice this at any time, not just in the summer, whenever you want some rest or rejuvenation. We'll do 4 restorative yoga poses, and that can help replenish and nourish your being at any time during the year. Let's begin with 5 full breaths and an Om. So if you're not already, take a comfortable seat and just rest your hands in your lap. You can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze gently downward. And bring awareness to the effortless flow of your own breathing. Inhale through the nostrils and follow the breath down into your lungs and to the whole rest of your body. And then exhale back out through the nose. And then 4 more breaths in that same manner. Notice the slight coolness of the breath in. Notice the slight warmth of the breath out. On your inhale, notice the small movements of the body in coordination with your breath. And with your exhale, let the shoulders soften, let your jaw relax. As you breathe in, the collarbones lift. As you breathe out, the sitting bones become a little bit more anchored. And once you've completed those 5 breaths, we'll bring palms together, hands to your heart center. The universal sound of Om, just one time. Inhale fully. And then release your hands by your sides and keep your gaze soft as you open your eyes. You may stretch your legs and we'll give them a little shake. So this first restorative pose is called Mountain Brook pose. And if you have 4 yoga blankets, that's going to be the most helpful. I have 3. So if you have 3, you could use a thin pillow as well. And if you only have 2 blankets, then I'll give you something there too. So let's use the first blanket that's going to go under the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. So take the blanket from this fold, the 1/8 fold, and you'll roll up on the long end. Now, if that's too thick, you could unroll it a little bit. So you always have choices here. Now, if you have 4 blankets, the second blanket is going to be for your head. You would fold that one in half lengthwise and then place it there for your head. But if you don't have 4, use the pillow for your head. And again, it's a kind of thin pillow. Now, if you only have 1 blanket left, you could take it from that same 1/8 fold and roll on the short end, and that's going to make a bolster under your knees. So there's the Mountain Brook. These are the pebbles of the brook that your body gets to flow over. Since I have 2 blankets, I'm going to make an extra bolster here, or make it larger, I should say. So if you have 2 blankets, unfold 1 fold wider, and then stack one on top of the other. I like to align the fringe edge here. Both blankets have the fringe in the one direction, and they're stacked on top of the other, and we roll on the short end. And this is going to create a thicker bolster to go under the knees. In general, we want the knees to be a little bit higher to support your back. So once you have all of the pebbles of your Mountain Brook, then you get to lie back. So the bolster under the knees is such that you can keep your heels on the floor and then just walk back on your hands to your forearms. Make sure that roll is at the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. So the arms come out just above it, and then some kind of support for your head can be helpful. Now we'll stay here for several minutes. You might imagine that your inhale draws in through the crown of your head, and then it washes down through the body and out through the soles of the feet. So your body is like the flow of the mountain stream, the cool mountain stream on a hot July day. Imagine your inhale flows in through the crown of your head and down through the body, washing out through fingertips as well as through the soles of your feet. And we'll take several breaths here. We'll be here for just a few minutes. Imagine the breath flows on your inhale from the crown of your head, or from the universe, through the crown of your head and down through the body and out through the soles of the feet. So it's a cleansing release of the breath. Let gravity take over, so your entire physical form can simply settle. If you find your mind starting to wander, just gently direct it back to the cool mountain stream of your breath flowing from the universe in through the crown of your head, down through your body, and exhaling out through the soles of your feet. Now, if you'd like to stay longer here, you could pause the video for just a few more moments. Otherwise, start to bring some small movements back to fingers and toes. Wiggle the fingers and the toes a little bit, and even circle your wrists and your ankles some. And then slowly, we'll bend the legs, and you can roll to one side and use your arms to support you. Make your way back up. Okay, I hope that felt good. Now, for the second one, you won't need your pillow. We'll just use 3 of the blankets. This is a supported spinal twist. So we'll go back to the 1/8 fold of the blankets, fold in half lengthwise. And then that's gonna go right up to the front edge of your mat. Now, if you only have 2 blankets, totally fine. Just use 2. In fact, you might only want 2 anyway. Once you stack your blankets, in half lengthwise, I'm gonna make it, as square and as even as possible and as straight an edge as possible here. Then for the reclined spinal twist, you'll start from staff pose. Legs are stretched out straight, and you can bring I've got my right hip, it doesn't matter which hip, we'll do side one. Right hip up against the blanket stack. Then bend the legs and just kind of fold your feet in by your hips. So we're leaning onto the right hip. You're going to inhale and lengthen up, and as you exhale, twist to the right. Walk your hands out a little bit, and we really want even the belly supported by the blankets. So walk out slowly and make your adjustments as you continue to twist. And eventually you'll lie all the way on your blanket stack. Notice if this, feels a little too supportive, you could actually remove a blanket, and we'll just set it off to the side. Okay? And then as you lie down, you have the choice with your head. You could have your head in the same direction as your legs. That's going to be probably a little more doable, a little more comfortable maybe. Or you could turn your head in the opposite direction. So yogi's choice there. And then arms just rest by your sides, and again, let gravity take over. The whole weight of your body just settles into the support of your props here in this supported spinal twist. Eyes closed if you like, or a soft gaze. Bring awareness back to the effortless flow of your breathing. Let's take one more full breath here. Gentle, effortless, full inhale, full exhale. And then you can place your hands under your shoulders, press your hands into the earth to support you as you rise back up. Side two, flip around so that the second hip is facing the blanket stack, and we'll fold the legs into the outside of the other hip. You are leaning onto that hip that's closest to the blankets. Breathe in and lengthen through the spine, and as you breathe out, twist to face over the blankets. We'll walk the hands out slowly. And as you walk your hands out, continue to twist through the spine. And so we just ease our way in to the supported spinal twist. And same options with your head. The head might be pointed in the opposite direction of your legs. Or if it's more comfortable for you, have your head in the same direction as your legs. The arms just rest out to your sides where they are comfortable and where your shoulders can relax. Hopefully I'm not yelling too much into the microphone here. And settle into the natural flow of your breathing. Once again, gravity takes over. Let your bones be heavy and settled, drawing down towards the earth. There's no place else we have to be, just right here, right now, enjoying the effortless wave-like flow of your breathing. If at any point there's some discomfort, you always have permission to make some small adjustments to make yourself more comfortable. So please don't feel like we have to hold a rigid posture. You always have options, you always have choices. Let's take one more full, effortless breath here. And then bring your hands under your shoulders again. Press your hands into the earth to support you as you rise back up. And here we go. The next one is supported, reclined, bound angle posture. And there are different configurations for the blankets here. What I'm going to recommend today is you can take two of them, make a little stair step here. And this is like, what, 3 inches or so? It's not super wide. If you have a fourth blanket, that could be for your head across the top. If you don't have a fourth blanket, then you could use your pillow. You could even roll the edge of the blanket up. So that way your head is going to be a little higher than your hips, right? I'm going to use the pillow. And then with the other blanket, here's what we'll do. So we have to unfold it to this 1/4 fold. And then you're going to roll it up on the long end. And this is going to support the ankles and the knees both. So we'll roll it up on the long end. Our restorative pose is called supported, reclined, bound angle pose. So once the blanket roll is in place, you'll sit on your mat so the edge of the blankets is right up against the back of your hips. That's going to support, the stair step is going to support your lower back. Legs come into bound angle. Hopefully everybody can see. It's this shape, right? Soles of the feet are together and the knees are wide. How wide is up to you? And it'll depend on your hips, right? So then we just take the blanket roll we made and it goes over the feet and under the knees, like so. And you want to kind of tuck it in a little bit so it's super comfortable, and that's going to support the legs. Okay, then walk your hands back, and as you lean back, you might adjust, like extend the tailbone away from the body, and then you'll come onto your forearms, and then as your head goes back, just make sure your pillow or blanket is in place. The arms will come out to your sides with the palms face up and shoulder blades on the back. If you have an eye pillow, you could put your eye pillow in place now. And we'll remain here for several breaths. As with each of these poses, we bring awareness to the natural force of gravity. Let gravity help your whole body settle. Your props, Mother Earth, are supporting you fully. And so there's no effort here, no effort in your breath, no effort in your body, just a sense of ease, relaxation, rejuvenation, and even nourishment. Inhale through your nose and notice how the breath fills the lungs and extends into every other part of your body. And let your exhale be a cleansing release of the breath, a cleansing release of tightness or gripping in the body, a cleansing release of even the stagnant air from the base of the lungs. We'll stay here for several more minutes. If you would like to remain here for a little bit longer, you can just pause the video and remain for as long as you like. As you're ready, what we'll do is just slowly bring the legs toward each other, and you can remove the blanket at your feet and just extend the legs out straight along the ground. I'd like to remain here for at least 4 more breaths, effortless, full breaths. There's no hurry. Let your inhale nourish every tissue of your body, and your exhale helps tension to dissolve. And after a few breaths, bring some small movements back to fingers and toes again. You can start to circle wrists and ankles. And then take your time. We'll bend both legs, roll to one side, and use your arms for support to press your way back up. And we'll do one more restorative posture. And this one is legs up the wall pose. You'll need 2 blankets for this one. Your eye pillow, if you have it. And the 2 blankets are actually going to remain in the stack that you had done before. So hopefully there's a wall nearby, or you could use a chair. You could do legs up the chair instead. All right. Now, it's possible that 2 blankets are going to be too much, and you'll want just 1 blanket. The reason for the blankets is to have the hips to be slightly lifted higher than the heart space. So I'm placing this folded blanket stack a few inches away from the wall. And then to come into legs up the wall, we'll sit right up on the front edge, and you'll use your hands as you lean back. So the back of the hips, the sacrum, is on the blanket stack as the legs go up the wall. Now you might have to have feet on the wall, knees bent to lift and adjust the hips. And if you find that the 2 blankets is a little too much, then just remove 1 blanket. We want the hips slightly higher than the heart to help the blood flow back to the vital organs. Now, if you have an eye pillow, put your eye pillow in place, and we'll just rest the arms out to the sides here. One more key action is with the hips on the blanket, we want a little bit of a lumbar curve here. We do want the hips heavy, resting on something. And sometimes that means moving the body further away from the wall so that the back of your hips are flat on your support, and there's a little gap between the lower back and your mat. All right, and again, eye pillow in place, arms are a few inches away from the sides of your body, and we'll remain here for several minutes. Let gravity support you, gravity and your props, the wall, the blanket under the hips, the eye pillow. Notice the gentle weight of the eye pillow to help relax the muscles in your face if you're using that. And if it's helpful, you may imagine a waterfall flowing over your feet, down through your legs, pooling in your belly, and then washing out through the top of your head. Cool, clear water flowing over your feet and down through your legs, pooling in the belly, and then washing out through the top of your head. And we'll continue here for several breaths. If your thoughts are wandering, just gently direct them back to the cool, clear waterfall flow over the feet and down through the legs, pooling in the belly, nourishing the internal organs, and then washing out through the top of your head. Nourishing breath, effortless breath. Now, if you'd like to remain here for longer, you could pause the video and just remain for as long as you like. Otherwise, slowly now you can bend your legs. The feet might rest on the wall as you draw your knees in closer toward your body. Your arms can wrap around the legs, either shins or even thighs here. We want to keep a little lumbar curve still, a little space between lower back and mat. And just some small movements from side to side, some gentle rocking from side to side. And after several times, roll to one side. Use your arms for support as you come back up to a comfortable upright seat. You can rest your hands in your lap and even close your eyes here to keep the awareness inward. This cooling place, this nourishing place. A place of rejuvenation and replenishment. And just notice how you feel now compared to when we started our class today. We'll finish up with the sound of Om, palms together, hands at your heart center. From my heart to your heart, namaste. Thank you for your practice today.